Remember the last time you went to a theme park with your friends and family? Maybe you took some scary rides that others didn't, or all of you did it together. How about when you went to the movies? Some chose a comedy, others picked a romance, or a tragedy, or drama, or horror, or a documentary. Maybe initially you wanted to watch a sci fi but then were talked into a romance. Everyone made a choice because they believed they would get something out of it: fun, education, excitement, learning, inspiration. Maybe they stood corrected after the experience, or others thought it didn't live up to their expectation. All in all, it was a day well spent. You had fun and you created some memories together. In the same way, we all have different life themes. Now, whether we choose them consciously on another level before we come into this life or they are bestowed upon us is a topic for another day. Nevertheless, all of us have different themes in life, whether it's romance, drama, tragedy, success against all odds, or even mediocrity. We all have different themes in life. Just because someone's theme is being an achiever, a hustler, a go getter, does not mean that someone else who has a quiet life, a mediocre life, that their perspective is any less. Now, that does not mean that we stay stuck in less than desirable conditions. We can all stretch the limits of what we have been given and come up with better experiences in life. We can help others, inspire others, motivate others, and even ourselves so that all of us can have a better enhanced experience of what it is we have been given. What does not help, though, is to judge others, criticize others, or invalidate other people's experiences because they look different than ours, or even judging our own experiences because they do not look a certain level. We might have wished for something which was a little more upgraded, and we don't have that, so we judge our own experience. That does not help at all. All perspectives, all life themes add value to the entire whole. Let's take an example. Suppose someone is homeless, battling addiction. Now, we might say, what value would that add to the entire whole? But let's say that person cleaned up their act. They can then become that light for other people who are in similar circumstances. And people who are in those circumstances will prefer to speak to someone, to be guided by someone who underwent similar circumstances instead of opting to go to a therapist or a PhD. Another example where someone is right now in their life might seem tragic to us, and we can help them to come out of it. But if someone is undergoing an unfavorable circumstance, it does not mean that their life experience is invalid or their life is completely off the mark. We do not know how that story evolves, how that story changes in future. We have seen these movies which start out as tragic but then take a turn for the better. Shawshank Redemption, Pursuit of Happiness, Goodwill Hunting, and there are many more. Even dark themes where people commit crimes and do horrific deeds, these might also lead to circumstances where communities come together, people help each other out. There are social, economic, legal reforms that happen, light being shed on taboos. It does not mean that we endorse such acts, but what it means is that even negative events can lead to some positive changes. Let's not measure everyone by the same yardstick. Let loosen our rigid stances on insisting how people should live, what values they should have, what cultural, political, religious affiliations they should have. We can stay open and learn from others if we believe that all life themes, all life perspectives add value, and using these learnings, we can enhance the experience of our own lives. Thanks for watching. Bye.